How rude. Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Courtney and I read books. Today we are doing a reading vlog, and this time we are going to do a romantasy duet. At least I think it's just a duet. Okay, I just looked it up. I'm right. There's only 2 books. You already know what book it is because you've seen the title and seen the thumbnail, but we're going to read Heartless Hunter and then Rebel Witch. I've heard nothing but good things about this. I am in a romantasy mood. I love witches. The cover is adorable. I mean, I don't like moths in real life, but this is a pretty moth because it's not real. So that is what we're going to do. I'm going to read a bit today while I'm just hanging out around the house and see how far I can get into it. I will let you know my thoughts when I am done reading for the day. Let's get this vlog started. First update, I have been reading Heartless Hunter for a couple of hours now. I'm about 28% in. I've been doing a mix of the audiobook and physically reading. I was doing both at the same time, which I really love, especially for a fantasy book, and especially at the beginning, to hear how things are pronounced and see how they're spelled at the same time. But I got into my head that I needed to do a crochet project. As a matter of fact, I might insert a little clip of me working on that. As I was listening to the audiobook, I started crocheting a little bit, and I was totally into it. So far, I'm excited to see where it goes. Our main character, Rune Winters, she is fantastic. I love her. She was put into this like terrible position, and now she's like trying to save all the witches. I like her sass. I like how she is working behind the scenes in the elite society in order to gain information about like witches that are being taken, and how she's like trying to play them all for fools. So she pretends to be vapid and like dumb, but really she's scheming, plotting. Love that for her. I like her companion Verity. I like all the little side characters. Something that I absolutely love about this book too is that when you meet a character, you get like who they are in a really quick snippet in a way that doesn't feel like we're just lore dumping. Like, I feel like this is a good setup for the beginning of the book. Like, I'm fully invested in what this world is like. I understand how the magic works, at least as much as I need to know right now. And I am fully understanding where the stakes are. So to set all of that up in the first, how many pages? 115 pages is fantastic. The witch hunter, Gideon. So the love interest. We know this because it's marketed as enemies to lovers, right? He's a witch hunter, and he is trying to hunt down the Crimson Moth, who is the alias that Rune has that's trying to help all these witches, right? Help them escape, help keep them a secret, that whole thing, right? I understand that they are enemies in the way that he's a witch hunter, she's a witch, and he suspects her, and she's trying to throw him off but also get information from him. Love that. Love that. I didn't think they'd already be attracted to each other this quickly in. That's the only thing that's like throwing me off. I'm here for it. Don't get me wrong. I'm really excited about literally everything having to do with this book. I just wish they hated each other more, and they're already flirting with each other and both trying to play each other. I really like that dynamic. If we can play up that dynamic for a while, I'm gonna be a happy girly. The brother, so Gideon's brother, Alex, he has a crush on Rune too, and this is gonna be fun. I'm excited to see how that dynamic plays out. Pretty much right now we're at the setup point of it. Rune has just tried to do some magic with blood, and she's having a couple of issues, either due to the quantity of blood or like the age of the blood that she's using, and that's literally where I stopped. So I'm gonna get back to reading. Firstly, crochet update. Look at how cute this is. Book update though. I am now 47%, so about halfway done. What's happening now is, okay, so Gideon set up room. I thought she fell for it. I was like, girl, you are smarter than this. And she went to try and save her friend, and then turns out it was a trap, right? So they get into a struggle. She stabs him. Love it. She ended up getting away, and turns out she had already planned. She was like, oh, you're gonna trap me. So she told everybody about this supposed transfer, and now his suspect list it's long. Alex, her bestie, who totally is in love with her, and she does not see it. Like, girl, okay, I will let it go because this is YA. I always forget when something's YA, but side note, young adult fantasies really, they've been winning for me recently. Now, we're just avoiding getting caught. We're gonna break into a prison. We have to figure out a way to court Gideon and get all the information out of him, to somehow plant truth-telling magic on his person, or somehow like cast this spell on him without him realizing. I don't know how we're gonna do it all, and I'm not gonna find out right now either, because it is, ooh girl, it is 1:30 in the morning. I'm going to bed. Okay, so as you can see, I'm no longer at my house. Sorry if there's a crazy echo, but I'm in the like yoga room at my apartment's gym. I'm gonna do a little bit of a workout, listen to Heartless Hunter on audiobook, and take you along with me. So let's get back to it. I'm really excited to see where it goes. I've been holding off on reading all day until I could get like a good chunk done, so guess that's now. Okay, so I'm finished with my workout, but it hasn't been a lot going on in the book because it's only been like 30 something minutes that I've been listening. They are going swimming right now, and Gideon's trying to look for all of her scars. They're talking about the capture of Rune's grandmother, and Rune is expressing that like obviously it did affect her. People think that like she doesn't have any feelings about it, but obviously she does. It is her blood. So we're getting a little flashback of that situation. Sorry if I'm out of breath, that's just what happens after you work out. I can foresee a little bit of tension about to happen, and I'm excited about that. Okay, wait a second. I, of course, was walking home in the middle of the chapter where they went swimming. And I was like, oh, nothing's happened. It was already hot outside. Oh my god, they're so cute. I mean, like, they're definitely trying to one-up each other, but like misremembering how they met. Like, they both remember how they met, but they were both coming at it from two very different angles and like seeing different actions very differently. And then him saying, I want to take it slow with you, and if I come up, I'm not going to. Okay, that was very dramatic, but that made me giddy. I was very happy with that scene. I thoroughly enjoyed that. Okay, so it's a bit later, and I have eaten, I have showered, I've listened to the book a little bit more, and I am now at about 76%. I'm at exactly 76%. So that is chapter 45. I don't know why I said like nothing was happening. I think I was losing my mind. So what has definitely happened is we got a lot more of Gideon's backstory and of Alex's, and I'm really enjoying the dynamic of both brothers having a thing for her, but like they're not really talking about it. Gideon's feelings are not more important than his brother's feelings to him. Alex, on the other hand, he is just not owning up to how he feels. He wants her to run away with him, but he's not like telling her it's because he loves her. Like, even if he did, she would take it as like a platonic love, except like just now, we're almost all the way through the book, and she's like, oh, maybe it's a little bit more than friendship.
learning more about the relationship that Gideon had with Cressida and how she used him and hurt him, only to find out that Alex did not dispatch her like he said he did. And now she is helping Seraphine, who still believes that Rune is like anti-witch. So Rune almost died. Not good. Not good. Good for me. Good for my enjoyment, but not good for Rune. Also, I love how Gideon's character is very complex with the way that like he had his addiction, and the one person who got him out of the fighting pits is now the commander. And at the time, the commander was trying to rid this village, this world of witches for a good reason. But now it's like the rebellion has kind of flipped all the way to the opposite side, where now it's like there's a rebel group that wants the witches back because of the restrictions that the commander is now putting on them. And it's funny how that works. Like there's always going to be some group that believes that there needs to be a revolution. Let's finish this book. We need to talk. How did I think this was young adult? It's definitely not young adult. And if it is, then young adult has changed.
Them talking about what it's gonna look like if they're together, and he's talking about, oh, we're gonna cook meals together, and we're gonna go on long walks, and we're gonna dance. Love it. No notes. No notes. I knew as soon as he started talking shit that she was gonna overhear. Well, that didn't last long. I'm on chapter 53. You want to know what just happened? I'm going to tell you. So Alex proposed. She said yes. No. No. Alex would have survived her saying no, but now that she's saying yes, and it's not going to work out because it's not. And now, Verity isn't real. Verity is Cressida. We haven't had it confirmed. But we have had confirmed that she doesn't live at the university. I kind of thought this could be the case when they were talking about how Cressida could pretend to be someone else. I don't think that Rune has been killing those blood guards. I think that that's Cressida killing the blood guards so she can use their blood to pretend to be Verity. Good. It's really good. It is all going down. Rune is captured. Gideon knows she's a witch. And now Alex is throwing himself at the feet of the blood guard. He's admitting he knew she was the Crimson Moth. I've just checked my Kindle. It says it'll take me 26 minutes to finish the book. So I'm going to film the last bit of this and just get my full reaction to the ending, because I have a feeling it's going to spiral and things are just going to keep on happening. So let's do it. Cressida's here to save them. Is Cressida bad? Yes. But she's also her best friend. But she kills people and tortured Gideon. No. You're joking. Rest in peace. He only ever did what was good and what was right. I need a minute. So this is the only spot that I really found that had some good natural lighting going on, and also it is pretty nice out, so this is where we're gonna film from, okay? That sounded really sassy. I'm so sorry. So it has been a couple of days since I finished Heartless Hunter, and I have thoughts. Honestly, I could not just go straight into reading Rebel Witch because the ending. Heartless Hunter was really good. Really good. I thoroughly enjoyed the main character, Miss Rune Winters. I really enjoyed the complexity behind Gideon's character. I don't know if I've spoken about this much in this vlog. The mentor he ended up with being, oh my god, I forgot his name already. That's me to a T. The fact that his mentor ended up being the commander, what I'm trying to say is that it makes sense. His motivations actually make sense. I feel like a lot of books, character motivation is a thing that is lacking for me, at least in my most recent reading experiences. If the author has told you that they have a drive to keep going, but you're not seeing that progress or really feeling connected to the reasoning, then it falls flat. Hi, how's it going? That is the downside of filming on my patio as people walk by. And yes, I'm the crazy lady filming. Nice to meet ya. Anyway, what was I saying? Basically, my thoughts were that Gideon's motivations are to fulfill his duty to a person who means a lot to him, who brought him out of his darkest moments, who is a mentor to him, who, he sees as a father figure. You also have his hatred for witches stemming from the way that Cressida treated him. So, and she's a woman in power, so it stands to reason that she represents witches as a whole. It makes his reasoning valid, so even if you disagree and think to yourself oh, but it's so obvious, just get over this, he can't. And I may be going too deep into this and thinking too hard into it, but those little details though are the things that make me really enjoy a book. I like the moral questions. I like the philosophical questions. I like a complex character. Let's talk about Alex. Sweet dear Alex. Why did they do him like that? That was very rude. I think I even said it, I did not realize that I was that connected to that character until I realized I was that connected to that character. He did not have to die like that, but he did, because he is a victim of both sides. Obviously, he understands where his brother's coming from, and that's why he's never gone fully against Gideon before, but he also has his own moral compass.
it told him what was right, and what was right to him was helping Rune and the other witches escape persecution. He even helped Cressida escape, which ended up being his demise, but I digress. I really thought they were going to drag out this like love triangle of sorts, this like unrequited thing, and I was invested in that. I was like ready to hear what we had to say, and yeah, that didn't happen, unfortunately. But where we are now in the story is Rune is on the run. Everyone knows that she is a witch and that she is the Crimson Moth. Cressida is like leading the witches. It's a shit show, honestly, and that's what you're gonna need going into the second book of a duet. So that is what I'm gonna do now. I feel like I've been yapping enough, and I'm gonna actually read. There has been a time jump. There must be, because what do you mean Rune is engaged to a prince? I'm on page 5, and Gideon's already trying to murder her. Yes, I'm happy about it. So I am just a little ways into Rebel Witch, chapter 10, so only page 64, but things are already happening. I like how quickly the plot is already moving in this book. We have new characters. We had the prince, Soren, who is a bit of a horn dog, and not in a fun, cute way, but in like a way. And he is going to be providing an army to Cressida and helping her get her title back, get the kingdom back, in exchange for marrying Rune. And of course Rune is like, ew, don't want him, but I guess I'm gonna play the game. Also, we just found out that Cressida's plan is to resurrect her dead sisters using some long lost sibling that we're just being told about existing. As long as it's not Rune, you do what you gotta do, girl. I really hope it's not, but that's obviously my first thought that I had. We also got to meet a witch named Ava, and we've already seen her die, so you don't need to know much about Ava. Gideon tried to kill our girl, which, rude, and don't worry, he was unsuccessful because he didn't actually want to do it. And then he got tortured a little bit. Now he's supposedly escaping from this castle, and Rune is having to play these games to act like she is still on Cressida's side. So that is where we're at. All of that has happened in 60 pages. I'm excited. I can't wait to see where it goes. The next time I update you, something big will probably have happened. Since last that you saw me, I read a good chunk of Rebel Witch. I'm about 50% in, and a lot has happened. I feel like I've said this before, but the plot moves really quickly in this book, so it's like I can't really read a big chunk without updating you, because then it's like I get everything confused and everything muddled. So essentially what has happened, let's see. Gideon found Rune and tried to kill her. Then she helped him escape. They both still love each other. You know how that goes. And there was a plot on Gideon's part to try and like find and take down Rune, but then Rune already knew that that was coming, so she actually had the plot to take him with her and get her back to where she came from. I cannot remember the name of it right now, I'm so sorry, but the plot was that they were going to go back to the continent, and Rune was going to help save the witches. That's what they were going to do. So they ended up on a ship, and Gideon found out that if he's not successful, then they're going to send a different spy after Rune, and he's like, no, I need to take care of this myself. So he's trying to figure out who this other spy is. So on the ship was actually a group that Gideon knows, at least one of the people. I forget her name, to be honest. Rune was jealous of her, and then there was a
guy named William on the ship that was flirting with Rune, and then Gideon was jealous of him. They had to pretend to be a whole married couple. Oh my god, how did I skip over that? They had to pretend to be a married couple and, like, to get on this ship, have the whole, only one room, it's only one bed. Nothing has happened as far as the only one bed, but they had to throw it in there. Side plot wise, the way that the witches are being found right now is that there's a Sibyl. So they have this one witch and she is helping them find other witches, but it's under duress because they have her daughter. And so we're trying to save her as well. We're trying to save all the witches and let, witchy powers be completely fine and normal as long as people use them without harming others. Rune's motivation right now is obviously to help all of her witches, and Gideon is still trying to get Rune back to the continent so he can turn her in, but he has to make her believe that he's on his side. But Rune overheard Gideon with William, who is the replacement spy, and that the plan was for him to pretend like he killed William to protect Rune, but he really didn't. It's complicated. Their relationship is complicated. I have been waiting the past couple of days. I have worked doubles and all I wanted to do was get back home and read. I plan on just listening to the audiobook while I work on this today, and we'll see how far I can get. Oh, I also forgot to say that Rune's home, Wintersea, is now in the hands of the son of the old good commander. So Gideon's mentor, Nicholas Creed, now his son Noah has her home. I'm sorry. I understand that she is, a fugitive. She's a witch, whatever. But you're going to take my house? Like, what are you going to do with an extra house? Just rude. Also, I said I was going to be crocheting and I haven't shown you the project yet. So let me show that to you real quick before I hit play. I swear I'm not procrastinating. Ta-da! I love making star blankets. I get my crochet. Oh my god, I'm showing you the ugly side. Ew! And this is the pretty side. I still have to weave in a bunch of ends. Oh, it's so annoying. But it must be done, so we'll get to that eventually. But this is such a really soft, pretty, oh, it feels so nice. Almost hate to give it away, but I know that my friend will enjoy it. Oh yeah, I think I just now realized the daughter that they're holding against the Sibyl is only 2 years old. Like, we must have standards, right? Like, there's certain levels of cruelty. Like, even in the mafia, there are certain etiquette rules, right? Like, or is that just me being disgusted? Is it insane? Absolutely insane. And Gideon is dumb if he thinks that Soren's entire army is just going to turn on all the witches. They're just going to turn on all the witches, and the witches are going to be defeated like that. And can I just say, it's very ironic how they love the Sibyl using her magic. It's only when it benefits them, though. I'm now on chapter 47, and a lot has happened. We planned a heist. We talked about our feelings. By we, I mean our main characters. I was not there. I had nothing to do with it. But they rescued the Sibyl, and they rescued the daughter. And then Rune got a vision of Gideon with children. And I'm like, okay, so we have a happy ending. But also I'm confused. Wouldn't you know that you had that power? Why would that power all of a sudden manifest? Gideon and Rune finally had a moment where he's like, I'm not disgusted by you. I actually do want you. I still care about you. By the way, I never told you. So sorry to hold vital information like this. But Cressida branded him with her mark. And that means... She can control him, essentially, and also anytime that Rune touches him, it causes him physical pain. For what reason, Cressida? Like, is it just jealousy? Because that is lame. I'm sorry, it's lame. So yeah, so Gideon told her about the whole thing. Now they were kind of on the same page. And then he basically chose a side, being the blood guard. It's hard to understand what's like where his head's really at, because when Gideon chooses a side, he doesn't stick with it. He's wishy-washy. I understand he's conflicted because he loves her. He wants to be with her, but also like he has an obligation and he has his own trauma to work through. When I tell you, I was like, oh, so he's actually going to betray her. And then he's like, I let her get away. I'm like, oh, so he didn't betray her. I don't know if I'm just dumb today or like if I'm meant to be this conflicted, but regardless, I am. Now the people that Gideon used to work with, whatever, they are aware that he is aiding Rune, that he's actually not anti-witch. He's arrested. Rune got away with Aurelia and Meadow, the cute little 2-year-old, and they sailed off into the sunset. Did I mention that I predicted that she was going to be the lost heir? Because I predicted it. I said I didn't want it to be. She doesn't know, but Gideon knows. I think that may have played a part in his decision to let her go. I think I figured it out now. I think I talked it through. In case you're interested in any kind of like crochet update, I did finish the gray round and I wove in all of my ends. So both this side and this side are pretty. The touching curse is only for that person's true love. Didn't mention, because I didn't think it was going to be a whole thing, that Harlow, which is the name of like a, no, not Harlow, Harrow, one of those names, sorry, is in the blood guard with Gideon, and they were like really close with Gideon, and they were missing an ear. Gideon asked this whole story about it, and they were like, oh yeah, this witch named Juniper. It's the story itself I thought was like unimportant, and I was like, oh, the name Juniper sounds familiar. Maybe like it's just another book I've read recently or something, but I was like, maybe. And then we find out Juniper is the one that's like second in command to Cressida, and I was like, oh, I did not realize that Rune was gonna already be back in the palace where Cressida and Soren are at. I did not think that was going to happen like right away. What are we going to do now? Like, what's the plan, sis? Oh, and Aurelia, she took the ship and she just left Rune. Cressida wants to hurt/kill Rune, but she needs her to resurrect her sisters. Haha. Why did we tell Cressida that Rune was her sister? How do we benefit from this? Other than her not killing her. Like, I know that's a big one, but like keeping that information secret was like the only thing we had right now. We're at war. Yay! Soren still believes that Rune is kidnapped, so he's going all out, and he helps Cressida take over all of the New Republic. So I guess, would you call it the New Republic, or would you call it the Old Republic again? Or like, what was it called before? It's Cressida's land. I'm now at the point where Cressida has won, and the witches are all out of hiding, and Rune finally knows the truth about Seraphine, who was the witch that we were looking for back in book 1, and how Seraphine relates to her and the royal family and backstory, loredom. And now they're having this ball, and the witches are just having a grand old time, and we have brought in Harrow, and Juniper saw Harrow, and Juniper is unwell. I feel like I'm skipping stuff. Like, I'm obviously not saying everything that's going on because it's too much. Cressida had whipped Rune, like really badly. So Rune used her own blood to try and break the like true love's curse, but I don't know if it worked or what's going on. Belong to me. What we're not gonna do is this. Can we kill Soren now? The prince is gross. So, funny thing happened. I stopped reading. I was working on my crochet project. I was having a grand old time. And then I found out that a new season of The Devil's Plan just dropped on Netflix. Now, if you've never watched it, go do it now. Literally leave this video. I give you full permission. Go do it because that show is fantastic. Yeah, so last night I just completely stopped reading when I still had like a whole hour left. I know I could have just finished it, but I didn't. So that's what we're going to do right now. Also, I got these little lav mics to help with the sound because I feel like I've been having issues. I'm kind of nervous because it's all going down. I don't know what I expect is going to happen other than a happily ever after because it must. So let me go ahead and just clip this on so I don't have to hold it because I will be crocheting while I listen again. We found out that Bart, someone who maybe we met in the last book and I forgot already, actually is gay and has a boyfriend, which is adorable. So they're hiding out with Antonio and Bart. And when I say they, it's Rune and Gideon. Oh, it's a reunion between Harrow and Juniper. Oh, yeah, they did rescue Harrow. How quickly I forget things is crazy. I had to pause because Antonio is an acolyte for the original, like, 7 gods. And at first I was like, oh, that's just like random lore drop, cool. But Seraphine is super, super duper old, but hasn't aged. And Antonio regarded her in a strange way. So she's one of the original 7 ancients, isn't she? How is this going to wrap up? Like, will that come into play? And in what way? I'm curious. So the gang is all together now. We have Bart and Antonio, Rune and Gideon, Harrow and Juniper, and then you have Ash and Abby. That's the name of the girl from the ship that they were on, that Gideon had a little thing with. We're all together as one, trying to stop Cressida and trying to build this grand new world. If I sound pessimistic, it's just because I don't know how they're going to do it. I worry that Rune's going to end up having to like sacrifice herself. But seeing as how this book seems like YA adjacent, maybe like new adult, perhaps not. But you know what? She better not. I'm saying it right now. We better not have like a sacrifice herself or like she has to lose all of her powers kind of vibe because that will piss me off. Somebody in that group is going to die. Like, I feel it. I feel like someone in that group is going to die. And honestly, if it is Bart or Antonio, I know I don't know them very well and I shouldn't care about them very much, but they have their little pocket of happiness. Please do not destroy this little pocket of happiness. That is all that I ask. Well, of course, plus Rune needs to keep her powers and her and Gideon need to be alive. Aside from that, like, just surprise me. And Rune's back, like her wounds and stuff, the fact that she hadn't shown Gideon yet and he's just now finding out. Oh gosh. We're being confronted now. Will this go romantic or will there be like a misunderstanding and we're going to be mad at each other now for keeping secrets? Let's find out. He's kissing her scars. At least the curse is broken, everybody. I guess that's the positive. I had to stop crocheting to listen to what was going on in this book because I could not believe what I was hearing. So Rune wants to run away with him, and he said no because it's for the good of the people. It ended poorly because he's like, I would die for you. Like, I would do anything for you. I'd fight for you, but like, I'm not going to run away with you. And then she was like, well, I just can't be here and see you die because I won't survive it. And it's all very sweet and tortured. And I want to scream, but I won't. I just want them to be happy. And I want everyone to be happy. How about we just focus on killing Cressida and then we find out if we want to run away or not? How about that? These characters. The angst is real. The yearning, but also the stubbornness. Gideon helps Rune escape from the train stop, only to be taken by a witch. He loves getting captured. Yeah, let's just jump onto a moving train. No problem. Who's training these witch hunting dogs? What got her off of the train? Not just realizing that she couldn't let Gideon die, but it was the fact that she recognized her features in the children she saw in that vision. But I'm glad she's back. Like, I'm glad she's realized she is that girl and she needs to get it together. Oh, she's proposing? Oh, it's getting steamy. On a train. Is there anywhere comfy on a train? Why is Layla being held captive at Wintersea? Oh, she just said it as I was asking. Oops. I don't think I mentioned that Layla, aka Noah Creed's sister, was the one who helped Gideon escape. So before I said the gang's all together, now the gang's all together. They've got everybody. Ooh, some of the Blood Guard has defected because Noah Creed is a crappy commander. That's what he gets. We just got a crazy lore drop from Antonio, as I suspected would become the case. Are the details important right now? No, but what I am going to say is that essentially the story ends with the goddess Wisdom pledging that she would stay mortal, or like her form would remain on the continent until it like found peace after this Roseblood dynasty. And I'm telling you right now, that is Seraphine. I think it was meant to be obvious, but hey, a win is a win. I'll take it. And if it's not Seraphine, it's because I really missed something, which I could have done. Rune just said something very important and relevant to real life as well as the book. You get the world you're willing to fight for. She said, you get the world you're willing to fight for. I'm just going to leave it right there. All right, it is time to destroy these bodies so that we don't have to worry about the sacrifice. Let's do this. Let's get it done. I'm not playing around. This resurrection spell, how many people can you bring back with one sacrifice? Because if Rune is supposed to bring back both sisters, you'd think that you would need 2 family members, right? She's already got the thought that she's going to sacrifice herself. I don't believe it. This is rude. Come find me in the next one. I would have rather somebody else died. She's going to be fine. She's going to be totally fine. Rune reversed the spell so Cressida can't hurt Gideon. I can't even crochet right now. I just have to listen. I can't focus and count. The only positive thing I can think about right now is that Cressida can't do shit. Nothing's working. Oh my god. Oh my god. The resurrection spell. I told you. And now Seraphine can do the resurrection spell on Rune using Cressida's blood. See, it's fine. It's fine. She felt Alex all around her. Maybe they did see each other when she was dead for a little bit. She told her Kestrel would be proud. She would be. Like, it ended well, but it's just, you still end up losing Seraphine. I have now officially finished the Crimson Moth Duet, and I am overall very pleased. Let's talk about the ending first, and then we'll talk about both books as like a duet. Overall, I'm pleased with the duet. The ending of Rebel Witch. Now, I hate so much when main characters die, and it's just because like you become attached to them, right? So like why would you want them to die? But at the same time, like that feeling will always hit me, and it's like if I don't get emotional at the thought of them not living their happily ever after, then like obviously I didn't care about them. So therefore the inverse is true, which is that like I really really cared about Rune, and I just wanted her and Gideon to finally like come together and have that moment of like peace, and they did. So that makes me very happy. I mean, we know they're going to have kids, so I guess I'm not too upset we didn't go further in the future and see those children actually like pestering them. I can imagine those being some difficult to handle children. I don't know. I think that it was clever to introduce this resurrection spell as like you need the blood of someone who's already dead, and it literally I when I was like, "Oh, there has to be something we can do." And I was in denial at first, and then I was like I feel like I was losing my mind towards the end because I was like, there's no way they're going to kill her off and just like leave it at that. There's no way. And then I was like, no, there is a way that they could do that. They could absolutely do that, and there's nothing I could do about it. So I resigned myself to thinking that the resurrection spell would only work if they killed Rune to bring back the other witches, totally not even clocking the idea that they could kill Cressida to bring back Rune. But as soon as I clocked it, I was like, we're going to be okay, everybody. It's all going to be all right. And I love Seraphine's like reveal as an ancient, and that she's just been there guiding and looking over the continent and these witches for so long. And her telling Rune that like her grandmother would have been so proud of her, that was just so meaningful. And I know that that was like her main motivation. So to have that come back full circle, that like Rune's sacrifices have all been worth it, like I don't know, it's deeper than it seems, or maybe I'm taking it deeper than it's meant to be. I don't know, but it was really touching. And what do I even rate these books? I don't know. I think as a whole, as a duet, it's definitely at least a 4 because I enjoyed it. I really loved all the characters. I liked the banter and the back and forth between Gideon and Rune. Even when it was frustrating, it was still good. So that marks a positive, I guess, for the books. I think maybe like as a duet, maybe like a 4.5. Like I would have loved to get like deeper into this backstory and deeper into the lore behind the ancients and learn even more spells. Like, I just wanted more from it, and I know that like what I was given was enough, but like once I get into it, like once I'm into something, I want to like dive deep all the way. Like, I love a long book because I have more time with these characters. I have more time to learn and to explore. Like, I just I could have read a longer series about these characters, but how everything built up and wrapped in 2 books that weren't even super long, impressive. And I would definitely recommend these books to anyone who is interested in witchy stuff. It has political implications. There's commentary on like what makes someone in power become something to be rebelled against, and how um, rebellion can swing too far in the wrong direction. And now we're actually discriminating again, and we've built another corrupt system. I like the idea of exploring mentorship and ties that aren't strictly blood related, and how someone who can be blood related to you like doesn't really mean anything if they don't have good intentions or there's no like real connection there. Rune and Cressida, they did have a bond when Cressida was her assistant, whose name I can't remember right now, but like they obviously were best friends and they got along really well, and like there was that connection, that found family, until she showed her true colors. Whereas her grandmother took her in, even though she didn't even want children, and she cared for Rune, and just the bonds that tie people together. I don't know. I'm glad that we got a nice little mention of like doing things for Alex at the end. Ugh, I could just keep talking about this book, but I won't. I will end the video here and just say I've thoroughly enjoyed reading this duet, and especially like reading it back to back and not taking too many breaks or reading too many books in between. Um, and I'm looking forward to reading more series just like this. So, if you have any duets, trilogies, even longer series that you're interested in seeing me read, or even just standalones. Standalones are great as well. I'd be happy to hear any recommendations you may have for anything I should read. Let me know what you thought of this duology if you've read it. If you liked this content, please like the video, subscribe, um, comment down below. Really ask me anything or talk about anything. All right. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.